This is Cape Chronicle. I'm Jacob McClelland. The Arts Council of Southeast Missouri is the oldest arts council in the state, founded in 1961. The council's mission is to provide a forum to explore and share the arts. I'm joined now by the Arts Council's Executive Director, Muriel Wyman. Thank you so much for dropping by to talk with us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, traditionally, what's been the Arts Council's focus? What's it's been?
Well, in 61 years, we've had a variety of focuses. But I've got to say, in recent years, there really has been a movement towards arts education in the community. We've found that our gallery sales have kind of fallen off, and so we think that one of the most important things that we can do is educate people in our community about why buying local original art is important and why it's important to harbor an appreciation of the arts in your children and in your family members.
So does the Arts Council focus primarily on the visual arts or on all different disciplines?
We focus on all different disciplines. We have a variety of programs such as Poetry Out Loud that we sponsor every single year. This year we held the regional competition in our gallery space, actually, so that was very cool. And that's a regional competition among high school students, and they go on to a state competition and then national competition. So there is an opportunity for scholarship dollars involved with that. So that's really neat. We also highly encourage people to come perform at our First Friday events and to conduct workshops and things like that in whatever discipline. Unfortunately, we do have only visual gallery space, and so that kind of hampers our ability to do shows and performances. But we do have a couple of things in the works for the future, like improvisational acting classes and things like that. So.
Okay, does the Arts Council work primarily just in Cape Girardeau or throughout the region?
We are actually a regional arts council of Southeast Missouri. So we serve counties all the way from Perry County and St. Genevieve County, all the way down south to Stoddard County and some other areas in the Boot Heel. And that's most evident in our Children's Arts Festival, which this year we hosted our 12th annual. And I sent out letters to 75 schools from all of those different areas, and we ended up having representation from 16 different counties. So it was very cool.
Well, that's, I mean, it's really interesting talking about how you work within the school district. What are some other examples of what the Arts Council does, you know, with the schools and with all these different students?
Well, I believe the Children's Arts Festival would probably be the best example of that. You know, it's really cool what our art educators are doing with our children, and it's an incredibly important developmental process. You know, fine motor skills, developing, being able to express yourself and express feelings, not just, you know, ideas and being able to communicate, but being able to show that in colors and shapes and things like that. So it's really neat what our teachers are doing, and to have the opportunity to showcase that in a public gallery space for, you know, grandma and grandpa and the whole family to come and see it. This year was my first experience working with it, and it was incredibly enriching, not only for the students, but for the teachers themselves to be able to be acknowledged in a public way. It was very cool. But aside from that, we're not just interested in, you know, in just one group. We also had a couple of representatives from our board bring in an integrative workshop for teachers in our area, and they actually worked with a professor here, Dr. Carol Horst, at the, I believe she's in the art education department here, and they brought in teachers from the area and taught about arts integrative techniques, which are teaching social studies and language arts courses, but integrating arts into it in some capacity. So it was very cool, and I actually got to sit in on a little bit of it, so it was a neat thing.
The Arts Council recently has been working with the Community Caring Council, which isn't exactly an organization that's directly involved in the arts. Tell us a little bit more about this type of partnership.
It was a very neat partnership. We recently have dubbed one of our walls that has typically been an overflow wall in our gallery. We recently dubbed it the Community Wall, and what we're hoping to do with it is reach outside the four walls of our actual gallery space and interact with other organizations in town who aren't necessarily arts organizations themselves, but they use art in a way that helps to further their mission. And we found that with the Community Caring Council. I worked with Natalie Sandoval, who's absolutely wonderful, and what we did was the exhibit itself was entitled Opening Doors to the Homeless. and it was for National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Month, which was in October, but actually November, but the actual show ran from December to January. And we had 18 different pieces displayed from artists who had either experienced homelessness at one point in their lives or who worked closely with individuals who had been homeless. And so it was really a neat way to see how people have overcome challenging and difficult situations in their life through art, and how the art was reflective of certain transformations that were made. And so we're definitely hoping to carry that into the future. There's all kinds of organizations in town that use art therapy or make art as a way of raising money, and we really would like to work with them to showcase that.
What do you see as the role of the arts in developing and fostering a vibrant and dynamic community?
Absolutely. Arts are the lifeblood of any thriving, successful community, and particularly in Cape Girardeau, recent years we've seen this artistic community flourish, which is very neat. The arts add purpose and they add meaning to life, and they also provide something for people to come together around. You think of crafting parties and stuff like that. Everybody just gets together and has a great time. And even if we don't have a bunch of artists who are making their living, we have a bunch of artists who are hobby artists, and in my opinion, that's just as valuable.
We've been talking today with Muriel Wyman. She's the Arts Council of Southeast Missouri's Executive Director. Thank you so much for coming by to talk with us.
Thank you for having me.